Welcome. Today we're reading The Three Little Pigs by Joseph Jacobs, originally published in 1890. A harrowing story of three pigs just trying to find their way in the world, and a wolf trying to eat his dinner. The whole thing ends in a bit of a twist. I hope you enjoy.
There was an old sow with 3 little pigs, and as she had not enough to keep them, she sent them out to seek their fortune. The 3 little pigs set off from their mother's cottage with light hearts and empty pockets, each determined to make his fortune in the wide world. They traveled together to the bustling city, where the cobblestones rang with the clatter of carts, and the air was thick with soot and ambition. The first little pig found work sweeping out a baker's shop. The second took a position hauling bricks for a mason, and the third labored in a factory that made iron nails and hinges. For a time, they were content enough. Their bellies were full, and they had coin in their pockets for the first time in their lives. But as the months wore on, the city began to lose its charm. The first pig grew weary of waking before dawn to the baker's shouts, his trotters sore from standing on hard floors. The second pig's back ached from carrying heavy loads, and he longed for green grass instead of gray stone. The third pig found the factory's clanging machinery gave him headaches, and the foreman was always watching with suspicious eyes. They met one Sunday in a cramped tavern, shared their grievances, and made a pact. By the following week, all 3 had collected their wages and set off down the road that led away from the smoky skyline, determined to find a quieter piece of countryside where they might build homes of their own and live as free pigs. The first pig went off and met a man pulling a wagon full of straw and said to him, "Please, man, give me that straw to build me a house," which the man did after much negotiation, and the little pig built a house with it. After many long hours of hard work, the pig was finally done. A wolf had heard all the noise from the laboring pig and came along, scaring the pig into the house straight away. The wolf knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, no, no, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." The wolf then answered to that, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew his house in. The little pig narrowly escaped the wolf and had to run for what seemed like hours. He finally found refuge high in an apple tree and stayed there all night. The next day, the second little pig met a man with a wagon full of sticks and said to him, "Please, man, give me all those sticks to build me a house." Which the man did after much negotiation, and the little pig built a house with it. After many long hours of hard work, the pig was finally done. The wolf had heard all the noise from the laboring pig and came along, scaring the pig into the house straight away. The wolf knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, no, no, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." The wolf then answered to that, "Then I'll puff, and I'll huff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and at last he blew the house down. The second pig had luck on his side that day and narrowly escaped the wolf, just like the first. The little pig ran for what seemed like hours. He finally found refuge in the bushes and stayed there all night. The third little pig visited his friend the mason he once worked for and ordered a load of bricks. The man gave him the bricks to build his house with. After many long hours of hard work, the pig was finally done. As he stood there admiring his handy work, his brothers came walking up the road. He invited them over to see his new brick house. But just then, the wolf, that had been trying to sniff out those 2 pigs for days, had heard all the rejoicing of the pigs finding one another, and came up the road, scaring all the pigs into the new brick house. Once inside, the first 2 pigs told of all their troubles with the wolf, and how they ended up on the road. While talking of all their troubles, the wolf came to the door, as he did to the other little pigs, and said, little pigs, let me come in." They all squealed, "No, no, no, not by the hair of our chinny chin chins." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." Well, he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, and he puffed and huffed, but he could not get the house down. When he found that he could not, with all his huffing and puffing, blow the house down, he said, "Little pigs, I know where there is a nice field of turnips." "Where?" said the little pigs. "Oh, in Mr. Smith's home field, and if you will be ready tomorrow morning, I will call for you, and we will go together, and get some for dinner." "Very well," said the little pigs. "We will be ready. What time do you mean to go?" "Oh, at 6 o'clock." Well, the little pigs got up at 5 and got the turnips before the wolf came, which he did about 6, and who said, "Little pigs, are you ready?" The little pigs replied, "Ready? We have been and come back again, and got a nice pot full of turnips for dinner." The wolf felt very angry at this, but thought that he would be up to the little pigs somehow or other. So he said, "Little pigs, I know where there is a nice apple tree." "Where?" said the pigs. "Down at Merry Garden," replied the wolf. "And if you will not deceive me, I will come for you at 5 o'clock tomorrow and get some apples." They all squealed, "No, no, no, not by the hair of our chinny-chin-chins." The wolf felt very angry at this too, so he said, "Little pigs, there is a fair at Shanklin this afternoon. Will you go?" "Oh no," said the pigs, "not by the hair of our chinny-chin-chins." "Now just go away," they shouted. Then the wolf was very angry indeed, and declared he would eat up the little pigs, and that he would go down the chimney after them. When the little pigs saw what he was about to do, they hung on a pot full of water, and made up a blazing fire. And just as the wolf was coming down, took off the cover, and in fell the wolf. So the little pigs put on the cover again in an instant, boiled him up, and ate him for supper, and lived happy ever afterwards. They even had time to go to the fair.
And that's our story for today. Until next time, take care.